Welcome back to Philosophy 115, Critical Thinking at the University at Buffalo. I'm your instructor, James Beebe. In this video, I'm going to do two things. I'm going to explain this connecting the dots activity that is an important part of how conspiracy theorists construct their conspiracy theories. And I'm going to explain an assignment for you to do. I want you to do a connect the dot assignment of your own. I want you to do some connecting of dots. Now, the connecting of dots that I'm going to describe here isn't actually unique to conspiracy theories, but it's common across a variety of people who have, pretty dumb beliefs. It is common across the world of dumb beliefs. So I'm going to do something, I'm going to explain to you two things that I've done over the last several years that are kind of silly and stupid. The silliness and the stupidity is the point, though, however. It's to show that there's a particular kind of connecting of dots activity that you shouldn't do. You could do it as a game, I guess. But you shouldn't do it and, believe any of it. You shouldn't believe that you're onto something real. Okay, so I'm both explaining something that's part of conspiracy theories and bad beliefs more generally, and explaining and setting up an assignment that I want you to do. Okay, so the first thing I want you to do is to watch this video by the crazy Monster Energy drink lady, and I've posted this video below as a separate link in the learning module here for this week on UB Learns. So go ahead and watch that for just a minute. Okay, so the Monster Energy drink lady wants us to believe that there is satanic symbolism everywhere. There are these three marks on the left that make an M, and that are clearly intended to be the scratch marks of the claws of a monster. But Monster Energy drink lady says no. If you take apart the pieces of the M, each piece kind of looks like a 6, and if there's 3 of them in a row, then you get 666, a symbol of Satan. And then if you look at the O in Monster, she says she sees a cross. It is a little bit cross-like looking, but of course it's just an O, really, with a vertical bar. And when you drink the can, as she shows, and the can goes upside down, the cross of Jesus Christ goes upside down, which is supposed to be a blasphemous sort of thing. So, is this lady on to anything? And the answer is, of course not. You can find satanic symbolism in everything, and in fact, that's what I want you to do for your assignment, is to find, it doesn't have to relate to Satan, it could, that would be fun. I want you to find some crazy pattern in something totally innocent, and I'm going to show you some of the ways that I found crazy patterns in things that are innocent, and I just want you to do the same, just so you get experience with seeing exactly how easy it is to find whatever it is you want to find in something. There is no reason whatsoever to think that the symbols of Monster Energy drink are the symbols of the Antichrist. I had a student some years ago when I first presented this, about 5 or 6 years ago, presented it to Critical Thinking. He really resisted the suggestion that the energy lady was crazy. I don't remember the student's name, but I do remember the student's initials because I responded to him a bit more directly than I usually do with students, simply because of how strongly he was defending the crazy energy drink lady. And this student's initials were JIT. And I responded directly to him to show him exactly how easy it is to find something blasphemous, sacrilegious, satanic in anything. I said, consider the initials of your name. Do you see it? Do you see the initials of his name? Do you see how blasphemous they are? You don't see how this defames the name of Jesus Christ? You don't see it? Well, let me spell it out for you. What does JIT stand for? What can it be made to stand for? It can be made to stand for Jesus is a turd. That's right. This young man's initials are blasphemous. And the last initial of his name, the initial of his family name, is especially blasphemous. What is a T? How do you get a T? Well, a T is a defiled cross. That's what it is. If you take the cross of Jesus Christ and you saw off the top and you throw the top in a pile of feces, then you get a T. That's how you get a T. A T is a defiled cross of Jesus Christ. This young man's initials spit in the face of Christ. That's what I told him back in the day. I don't think I would do that in 2020, but that's what I told him back in the day. But see, what I did is I took something totally innocent and I just made stuff up. I mean, a T is not a defiled cross. It's just a freaking letter, man. It's just a letter. I read into it something that is simply not there because I wanted to find something blasphemous to make a point. Let me give you another example. So you know the Dilbert cartoons? These were more popular with your parents than they are with your generation. So here's the Dilbert creator Scott Adams, who claims to uncover satanic symbolism in Joe Biden's name. All right. So in the learning module below, I have linked to Scott Adams, who has in recent years gone off the deep end into loopy land, explaining how Joe Biden must be a tool of Satan because of what you can find in his name. So take just a minute, listen to the ramblings of this crazy fella, and then we shall return. So Dilbert creator Scott Adams claims to find evidence of a 666 satanic identity in these letters to the left. Oy, oy. As I sort of hope you sort of saw in the video, he had to reach, right? The crazy energy drink later didn't have to reach quite as much, or even quite as much as I did with my former student JT. I mean, Scott Adams had to reach. The thing is if you reach enough and you spend enough time and you're creative enough in a warped sort of way, and you can find all kinds of crap. Again, this is going to be your assignment. I want you to take something totally innocent, which means nothing of the sort that, I mean, it's just totally innocent, and then you find in it, or claim to find in it. You connect dots in such a way that you find something sinister. You don't have to use Satan, but by the way, the more that you use Satan, the sort of happier I'll be, okay? You can still get a grade without Satan being in there, but, you know. Here's another example. Have you ever heard of Bible codes? So there's people who have claimed that you can connect the dots in Jewish scriptures and find secret messages. So here on the left is a passage from the Torah. The Torah, of course, being the first 6 books of what Christians call the Old Testament: Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, Deuteronomy. Did I say all 6? Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, Deuteronomy. Okay, first 5 books, I guess. Sorry, folks. And what you see here is, allegedly, predictions. So, Israeli Prime Minister Yitzhak Rabin was assassinated November 4th, 1995. by a fellow Israeli. And you can sort of see that there's this set of diagonal letters that are in circles going from the bottom left up a little bit to the right. This spells out Yitzhak Rabin. And kind of the thing that's closest to the middle of the page, you see letters each surrounded by a square, which says assassin will assassinate. Then above and to the right over there, you see all his people to war. You see the name of the assassin as on the top right, Amir. You do see the name Netanyahu, who eventually became prime minister. So the claim is, in the Torah, written centuries and centuries and centuries before the assassination of Yitzhak Rabin, you find a prediction. People claim to find stuff about Hitler, and this is all BS. Now I'm going to tell you why, because I made a Super Bowl prediction from the first book of the Bible a few years ago. Now, the way that you find Bible codes in the Torah is this. You go back to the original Hebrew, and you look for every seventh letter. Okay? Well, that's the most common way of doing things. With this particular array that we see here, I'm not sure how they do it, but usually it's the case when someone finds a Bible code. So there's authors that have written multiple books on Bible codes. They normally go back and they look at every seventh letter, and they string every seventh letter together, and they find a message. Now the thing about the letters of the ancient Hebrew scriptures is, the most ancient versions of them, is that there are only consonants and there are no vowels and no punctuation. So what you do is, when you look for every seventh letter, you're looking for, you have just a bunch of consonants that you're stringing together, and you have full freedom to string together any whole set of consonants. Now it looks like on this particular array to the left, I don't know, they just put them out in an array of, what is that, by 35 by 35 or something like that, and just sort of looked for patterns. But the thing about it is each of those are consonants, and you can fill in vowels wherever you want. You can just look and look and look until you find something that looks kind of fishy. So that's actually what I did. So January 2007, almost 14 years ago, I had a friend named Dell who was kind of into conspiracy theories and very much into Bible codes. He thought they were legit. And I wanted to prove him wrong. Still wanted to be his friend, but prove him wrong. And I didn't. I don't know Hebrew. So to show him how easy it is to find stuff, I went looking for patterns. Okay, so I took the first chapter of the first book of the Bible, the first book of Jewish and Christian scriptures, Genesis chapter 1, and I took an English translation because that's the only language I can read. But I took the New American Standard Version translation because it is the most literal word-for-word translation, unlike the New International Version, the Living Bible. These other translations of the Bible try to, certainly the New International Version tries to translate phrase by phrase rather than word by word to make things more readable, but I wanted word by word. And of course, in the original Hebrew scriptures, there's no vowels or punctuation. Okay, so I took out the vowels and punctuations, in English, and this is what I got. Okay, now then what you're supposed to do is, people these days who look for hidden codes take one out of every 7 letters. I forgot to mention 7 is supposed to be some number of divine perfection. Jewish and Christian people are into numerology. This is sort of attributing spooky, supernatural, magical powers to numbers. Think that 7 is God's favorite magical number. So here's the letters from the consonants, no spaces, no vowels, no punctuation, first chapter Genesis. And this is every 7th letter, which is of course a consonant. Okay? And then in this array of letters, I went looking for a message. And look what I found. Dun, 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 dun. Okay. Look what I found. Do you see it? Do you see the message? This is a Super Bowl prediction. DL, RTTPNFT. That is a Super Bowl prediction, folks. You don't see it? I mean, come on. Catch up. Okay. Super Bowl 41 was set to play 2 weeks after this. Okay, so I am going to make, on the basis of hidden Bible codes, a prediction of who's going to win the next Super Bowl 2 weeks before it happens in early 2007. DLRTTPNFT is a message from God telling me, Del, remember that's my friend who's into conspiracy theories and Bible codes, Del, root at pony feet. Now, that's a Super Bowl prediction. It may not look like it. I'll spell it out for you since you're having trouble keeping up with my, I'll spell it out. Before I spell out the pony part, before I focus on the pony part, I just want to mention when you go looking for a code, remember, when you're looking for it, when you're taking every 7th letter, you can put breaks, you can put vowels anywhere the heck you want to put vowels. Which is what I did. You can put breaks between words anywhere the heck you want to put a break between words. I mean, okay. So that's what I did. Now, how is Del, root at pony feet, a Super Bowl prediction? Well, who was set to play in Super Bowl 41 2 weeks later, February 4th, 2007? The Indianapolis Colts were going to play the Chicago Bears. What is the logo for the Indianapolis Colts? A horseshoe. What is a horseshoe? It's something that goes on a pony's feet. Indianapolis Colts won. Peyton Manning won his first Super Bowl as head of the leading, as the quarterback for the Indianapolis Colts. I want to emphasize, I predicted a Super Bowl outcome 2 weeks before it happened. Was the Super Bowl prediction in the Bible? No. Did my friend Dell appreciate me giving this to him? No. Did my friend Dell become any less confident in believing in the legitimacy of Bible codes? No. I connected the dots in a stupid and silly way to make a point. That's what I want you to do. Okay? I took letters from an English translation of the first chapter of the first book of the Bible, and I found, scare quotes, a hidden message. Crazy energy drink lady, crazy cartoonist, found satanic symbolism. This is your assignment. Do this. Look around you. I don't know where you want to look. So you might have to think about it for a little bit. But it's really not that hard. I mean, maybe begin with letters. I don't know. I guess my students' initials, J-I-T, and the Dilbert Joe Biden thing, and the Bible code. I guess those all involved letters. And the Monster Energy drink involved an M or Hebrew letters. So maybe begin with letters, but it doesn't have to be letters. It can be any old shape. So look around for, shapes that are innocent, and then use your creativity and imagination and find something sinister, evil, worrisome in it, okay? Remember the shapes from the Illuminati lecture from Dave Hahn about the triangle and the eye. Do that. That's your assignment. And I want you to come up with something I don't want you to talk about an existing conspiracy theory or wacky belief that someone has already come up with about connecting the dots. I want you to do something new and original. Come up with your own wacko thing. And I want to emphasize, it's got to be wacko. Like, you won't get full credit if it's not a stupid thing that you found. Okay, so that's your assignment, but I hope you know that there's a serious point behind the kind of silly thing I'm asking you to do. Can conspiracy theorists and other people with bad beliefs, bad reasoning, can they connect the dots and tell a story about the connection? Yes, they can. But there's no reason to believe that reality is anything like this imaginative story they've just concocted to connect the dots. That's the serious lesson in the silly assignment. So I hope you have a little fun with it. It could potentially be kind of fun. Try to entertain me. Thanks.